Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio from 12 p.m. until 1 p.m. or from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's your responsibility to keep up with the time. Due to scheduling, we are here with you either 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And it looks like during this academic calendar year, it's going to be a lot more 12:30s to 1. So stay tuned in with us. We are delighted that you are with us here. You are here because we here discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. We discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families, dating relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you will save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com, NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you who use the link or the QR code posted on Facebook and on YouTube, we now also offer Zelle, where you can support us at the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. So we thank all of you for your commitment and for your support as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers that we are in the midst of our monthly FijiWater.com sponsored promo. All you have to do is go to our internet radio station, WKAPFaith.com. The first three songs you hear at 11 a.m. or at 6 p.m. Text the first three songs you hear listed along with your name and your email address. One of our listeners and viewers will be selected to receive a case of Fiji Water from FijiWater.com. And our August winner selected for a case of Fiji Water from FijiWater.com is Morella Kusovic. Morella, if I'm not saying your name correctly, please know, charge it to my head, not my heart, okay, and my mouth. But Morella is our selected winner for a case of Fiji Water from FijiWater.com. Morella is in New York. So thank you all in New York for tuning in, and we thank everyone wherever you are across the U.S. and wherever you are around the globe for tuning in every day with us. Our FijiWater.com sponsored promo is for our U.S. listeners and viewers. We will be doing something for our international listeners and viewers in the last quarter of the year, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss this, but you want to be included in the Fiji Water monthly promo. And we will be selecting a winner for the remainder of this year from Fiji Water at FijiWater.com. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you were approached by a family member about a business venture, and as much as you want to encourage them, you do not want to be an investor. Your concern is that you want to still be able to encourage them and at the same time say no. Well, that's not complicated, as much as you may be thinking it's complicated right now. You can tell them that you are really excited about the fact, and this is how you want to handle this, because one of the things I talked about in the Sunday sermon is that we're all created in God's image and in His likeness. God is a creator of all things. He is the creator of all things. So we want to be creative and we want to be innovative. We also want to encourage others to be creative and innovative. However, you're not interested in being an investor because you don't feel comfortable going into business with that particular family member. All you have to do is explain to them that you're not going to be able to allocate capital to be an investor in their business venture. That's all you have to say. If you say that, they don't have to know that you're not fully sold on their business venture. You can still encourage them, but at the same time, you can remove yourself from the equation of being an investor in their business. See, every family member is not someone that you can go into business with. Every friend is not someone that you can go into business with. Because in business, we must be men and women. We must know the importance of going into business and not go into business just because we don't want to work for someone else. We want to have more time to ourselves. That's not a reason to go into business. You go into business, and that's exactly what your family member is doing. They're going into business because they have decided they don't want to work for someone else. And they think this is going to give them an opportunity to make money and be able to have more time to themselves. You understand that now. You've heard me talk about this on the broadcast previously about the reasons for going into business. When people have asked about it being the right time to go into business, should they go into business? Sure, if you have a product or goods and services that are going to have an impact on our society. Going into business with a Me Too product or a Me Too service, just because you want to go into business because you think you're going to have more time on, they're going to have more time on their hands. They're going to be able to make their own schedule. They're going to be able to, make money, and those are not reasons to go into business. The reason that you go into business is because you have goods and services that are going to impact our society. You have something that is to either offer to society or that will benefit society. That's the reason for going into business. So you have to have the right personality, but you also have the right state of mind. And you understand their reasons for wanting to go into business. So you're not interested in being an investor. You said, how do I tell them no? Very easily. I'm not interested. You don't have to offend them. And I understand that's what you're being cautious about. If it were someone outside of your family, you could just tell them no. But this is someone you're probably going to, I'm going to get into another communication with this, but this is someone you're probably going to see during the holidays. This is someone that, you're certainly going to see during the holidays. It's someone in your family that you see on a periodic basis, that you see periodically. You're going to see them. So you want to encourage them because they're family members. That doesn't mean you need to allocate capital to invest in their business, particularly when they're not going into business for the right reasons. So I will say this to you and all of our listeners and viewers. Think about this. Anytime someone has something to offer to society, that is going to enhance the quality of life, benefit our society, that's a business worth looking at, worth analyzing. But going into business just because they want to make more money and going into business because they think they're going to have more time, that's never an equation for success. Because when you own a business, you have less time to yourself. You have more responsibility. When you start hiring employees, those people are depending on you every day to get out of bed. When you own a business, you are not going to be able to write your own schedule. You can develop a schedule, but you have to understand that sometimes variables will occur that will change or disrupt your schedule, and you have to be able to be nimble enough to adapt. You have to be able to shift with the ebbs and flows, and you're not going to have additional time to yourself when you're running a business, because your focus has to be that business. Your focus has to be to continue growing the business, because if your business isn't growing, your business is dying. If you're not adding new components or new offerings to your business is dying. You have to be continuously innovative. You have to continue to grow. You have to continue doing new and different things. You are adding components to what you've already established. That has to be the methodology. Because at the end of the day, business is built to be a legacy business. Business is built to transition from generation to generation. Now, I realize there's a new theme, and that's people being serial entrepreneurs. But you can be a serial entrepreneur and build businesses that are going to be a legacy business. You can still create more business. But in today's society, however, the thought process is, I'll build one business until I can sell it, and then I'll sell it off and move on to something else. Well, that's a business model also. The thing you have to remember is that if someone asks you to invest in their business, particularly a family member, you've got to take the time to understand their reason and their purpose and their reason for going into business. And once you get a clear understanding of that, then you can make a decision on whether or not you want to be or should be an investor. And in your case, you understand that you do not want to be an investor in your relative's business, your family member's business. And so I would encourage you to continue to encourage them to pursue business. But certainly you want to take yourself out of the equation of that, the funding of that business. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you're not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill. At T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated your career has you completely stressed out. And you want to know, how can you manage the stress of your career and continue to be successful without burning out? So the answer to that is managing your stress by becoming more focused. And let me tell you the reason that most people get stressed out in their careers. And I understand that there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of variables in every profession. But you can eliminate burning out by just focusing on managing the stress or eliminating. And the way that you do that is by setting aside your personal pleasures for your professional success. So the reason you're stressed out right now is not just because of the responsibilities of your career. You're stressed out because you're burning the candle at both ends, for lack of a better term. You are very personally engaged in pop culture and society. So you have a lot of things going on from a personal perspective. You have a lot of things that you are involved in from a personal perspective. And what happens is that your personal life then begins to spill over into your professional life. And what I mean by that is, if you're personally exhausted from all of your external activities, and then internally you're trying to perform at a high level, the two are not going to line up. And the reason that they're not going to line up is because if you're spending too much time on your personal pleasures, it's going to disrupt the success of your profession. It's going to disrupt your professional success. You've got to really eliminate some of your personal desires, which will eliminate some of your stress. The way that you manage stress is to in some form, eliminate some stress. So one of the things I said recently on the Sunday sermon, and I actually said to students today, and that is that you have to manage your lifestyle. You've got to manage where you're putting your energy and where you're directing your time. So, whether you're students who have school every day, or whether you're adults who have a professional career, if your personal time is exhausting you, you're going to be stressed out in your professional career. You're going to be stressed out because you spent so much time pouring out your energy into your personal time, your personal lifestyle, that you are impacting your professional success. So what I will say to you is this: you can manage your stress by making the main thing the main thing. Making your career the main thing, your social life a secondary pleasure. And you do that by determining what hours you're going to spend on personal activities versus the hours you're going to spend on your career success. Your career success is going to give you the opportunity to enjoy your personal time. But you're never going to have more personal time than you have professional time. Not if you're going to be successful. And the reason is because, remember the 5 segments of business? The 2-hour segments of the 5 segments of business. 2 hours per segment is 10 hours a day. So automatically you're going to spend more time with your professional success than you are going to spend with your personal life. And you have to be willing to accept that. You have to be okay with the fact that there's no feasible way that you can keep going at the social rate that you're going and maximize your success in your career. It's not feasibly possible. I don't care how much energy you have. It doesn't matter how energetic you are. Something's got to give and something's going to suffer. You don't want your professional career to suffer due to personal pleasure. You definitely don't want that. So I'm going to encourage you today to manage your stress by eliminating some of the things you do from a personal perspective. Eliminate, look, I said this and I'm going to say it again. If you've got more than 5 people in your circle of friends, you've got too many, because with every person comes a problem. Every person has their own personal problems. They're going to bring them into your circle, which is going to have an impact on your professional success, which is going to have an impact on your success as a whole. So we have to be real careful who we allow in our inner circle, and we also have to focus on what is going to allow you to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly become. And so, having said all of that, manage your stress by becoming more focused. Focus on what you know you need to do to get to the place that God has appointed for your life. Because we all know, once you find your purpose, you know God will reveal to you exactly what he wants of you. Now the question becomes, are you willing to make that sacrifice? Are you willing to make the sacrifice of what you want for what God wants for you? And if you are willing to make that sacrifice, then focus on the main thing. Make the main thing the main thing. Don't allow distractions to interfere with your success. So, having said that, what you're going to have to do is sit down and develop a management plan. How about this? A monthly management plan, a quarterly management plan, an annual management plan. You'll find that you will manage stress a whole lot more effectively and efficiently. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at their retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need. They have shorts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. And if you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. And The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at their retail store. They have everything you could possibly need. They have home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you are not in any of those areas where Charles Tyrwhitt or The White Company are located, you can shop online at Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com and The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. Both companies will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you met someone recently who you are you said very interested in dating. He asked you out. However, when you asked him to take you to church and out to lunch or brunch, he told you that he does not attend church and he does not believe in God. Okay, so there's 2 things that I'm going to point out here. Well, actually 3. First of all, to God be the glory, you followed the instructions. If someone asks you out, tell them you want them to take you to church and out to lunch or brunch after service. If he tells you that he does not have a home church, invite him to yours and out to lunch after Sunday service. However, if someone tells you that they don't attend church and they don't believe in God, the Bible says only a fool says there is no God. So you have to take into consideration, are they a fool because they don't choose to live according to the Word of God? And if he says there is no God, I didn't say it, but the Bible said it, he's a fool. But if he doesn't attend church, you still have a chance. If he doesn't have a home church, you can invite him to yours. But if he tells you he doesn't attend church and he doesn't believe in God, not only is he a fool, but he does not have any guiding force in his life. Because if he doesn't attend church, he's not hearing the word. If he's not hearing the word, if he doesn't believe in God, that run as fast as you can. The problem that we have sometimes is that we will date people knowing that they're not good for us. Just because you're very interested in dating him, and then you have to ask yourself why. Why would you be interested in dating him when he told you he doesn't go to church and he doesn't believe in God? So you have to conclude that this is not the person that God has appointed for your life. This is not the right person for you to build a great quality of life with. If they don't believe in church, they don't believe in attending church, and they don't believe in God. You can't save him from himself. You can offer him the path of salvation, but you can't save him from himself. So he's told you where he is in his walk. He's told you where he is in his life. He has no governing force in his life. God is a governing force. God will lead you and guide you in the path he wants you to go. Surely goodness and mercy will follow you all of the days of your life if you dwell in the house of the Lord forever. He has none of that. So why would you be very interested in dating him? Looks good, lives well, drives well, makes good money. Those are all points of interest to determine whether or not you should eliminate someone from dating. But you haven't even got there yet. And the reason you haven't got there is because he told you he doesn't attend church, doesn't believe in God. That's enough for you to turn him away and for you to turn away. Why would you want to date him when he's telling you, I have no force driving you because I don't believe in God? So I say to you, you have to ask yourself, why are you very interested in dating him? Just because he asked you out doesn't mean you should go. Because you're never going to be able to set a date with him. He has no plan. So either he takes you to church and out to lunch and learns about God and comes into the knowledge of his son Jesus Christ. If he's willing to do that, he has a chance to be saved. He has a chance to grow in this thing. But if he's not willing to do that, what's the point? You're wasting time, valuable time, God's time, time that God has given to you. You're wasting it trying to date someone who is clueless. So I say to you, and to all of our listeners and viewers. Let's make certain that we are seeking God's way for our lives and God's will. I'm listening to the Holy Spirit, and I have to tell you, let's focus on seeking God's way and God's will for all of our lives. And we will make certain that we have life and that we have it more abundantly. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast 3D has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you.